The San Diego Zoo is a zoo in Balboa Park, San Diego, California, housing over 3,700 animals of more than 650 species and subspecies. Its parent organization, San Diego Zoo Global, is the largest zoological membership association in the world, with more than 250,000 member households and 130,000 child memberships, representing more than 500,000 people. San Diego Zoo pioneered the concept of open-air, cageless exhibits that recreate natural animal habitats. It is one of the few zoos in the world that houses the giant panda. In 2013, the zoo added a new California adventure, providing an Australian experience. It is privately operated by the non-profit Zoological Society of San Diego on 100 acres of parkland leased from the city of San Diego, and ownership of all animals, equipment and other assets rests with the city of San Diego. The San Diego Zoo is an accredited member of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums and the American Alliance of Museums, and a member of the Zoological Association of America and the World Association of Zoos and Aquariums. San Diego Zoo Global also operates the San Diego Zoo Safari Park and the San Diego Zoo Institute for Conservation Research. History. The San Diego Zoo grew out of exotic animal exhibitions abandoned after the 1915 Panama, California Exposition. Dr. Harry M. Weger IV founded the Zoological Society of San Diego, meeting October 2, 1916, which initially followed precedents set by the New York Zoological Society at the Bronx Zoo. He served as president of the society until 1941. A permanent tract of land in Balboa Park was set aside in August 1921. On the advice of the city attorney, it was agreed that the city would own all the animals and the zoo would manage them. The zoo began to move in the following year. In addition to the animals from the exposition, the zoo acquired a menagerie from the defunct Wonderland amusement park. Ellen Browning's Scripps financed a fence around the zoo so that it could begin charging an entrance fee to offset costs. The publication Zoo News commenced in early 1925. Animal collector Frank Buck went to work as director for the San Diego Zoo on June 13, 1923, signed to a 3-year contract by Weger IV. William T. Hornaday, director of the Bronx Zoo, had recommended Buck for the job. But Buck quickly clashed with the strong-willed Weger IV and left the zoo after 3 months to return to animal collecting. After several other equally short-lived zoo directors, Weger IV appointed the zoo's bookkeeper, Belle Benchley, to the position of executive secretary, in effect zoo director. She was given the actual title of zoo director a few years later. She served as zoo director from 1925 until 1953. For most of that time she was the only female zoo director in the world. She was succeeded as director by Dr. Charles Schroeder. The San Diego Zoo was a pioneer in building cageless exhibits. Weger IV was determined to create moated exhibits from the start, and the first lion area at the San Diego Zoo without enclosing wires opened in 1922. In 1999, the zoo opened Ituri Forest, an African rainforest area, which had its first multi-species exhibit. The complex incorporated the pre-existing Hippo Beach exhibit, which had opened in 1995. Until the 1960s, admission for children under 16 was free regardless of whether they were accompanied by a paying adult. The zoo's Center for Reproduction of Endangered Species was founded in 1975 at the urging of Kurt Benirschke, who became its first director. CRES was renamed the Division of Conservation and Research for Endangered Species in 2005 to better reflect its mission. In 2009 CRES was significantly expanded to become the Institute for Conservation Research. An orangutan named Ken Allen was reported in several newspapers in the summer of 1985 for repeatedly escaping from the supposedly escape-proof orangutan enclosure. The world's only albino koala in a zoological facility was born September 1, 1997, at the San Diego Zoo and was named Onaya Biri, which means ghost boy in an Australian Aboriginal language. The San Diego Zoo has the largest number of koalas outside of Australia. Escapes. The San Diego Zoo has had a number of notable escapees through the years, the most noteworthy of them is Ken Allen, a Bornean orangutan who came to be known as the hairy Houdini, for his many escapes. In early 2015, two wolf guanans monkeyed around outside of their Ituri forest enclosure. One of the monkeys near defense line off of Route 163, but was brought back to safety without injury. In 2014, a koala named Mundu escaped to a neighboring tree just outside its California, Australia outback enclosure. Zookeepers lured him down the tree once the park closed that day. In March 2013, the zoo, which was hosting a private party at the time, had to initiate a lockdown when two striped hyenas somehow got past their barriers, before they were darted with a sedative and taken to the veterinary care clinic. Features: the zoo offers a guided tour bus that traverses 75% of the park. There is an overhead gondola lift called the Skyfari, providing an aerial view of the zoo. The Skyfari was built in 1969 by the Von Roll Tramway Company of Bern, Switzerland. The San Diego Zoo Skyfari is a Von Roll Type 101. Exhibits are often designed around a particular habitat. The same exhibit features many different animals that can be found side by side in the wild, along with native plant life. Exhibits range from an African rainforest to the Arctic taiga and tundra in the summertime. Some of the largest free-flight aviaries in existence are here. Many exhibits are natural with invisible wires and darkened blinds, and pools and open-air moats. The San Diego Zoo also operates the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, which displays animals in a more expansive setting than at the zoo. Animals are regularly exchanged between the two locations, as well as between San Diego Zoo and other zoos around the world, usually in accordance with species survival plan recommendations. The temperate, sunny maritime climate is well suited to many plants and animals. Besides an extensive collection of birds, reptiles, and mammals, it also maintains its grounds as an arboretum, with a rare plant collection. As part of its gardening effort, it raises some rare animal foods. For example, the zoo raises 40 varieties of bamboo for the pandas on long-term loan from China, and it maintains 18 varieties of eucalyptus trees to feed its koalas. Keepers and most other employees at the San Diego Zoo are members of Teamsters Union Local 481. Exhibits Monkey Trail and Forest Tales Monkey Trail showcases monkeys and other animals from the rainforests of Asia and Africa. Opened in 2005, it replaced an older exhibit known as the Monkey Yard. Monkey Trail is home primarily to monkeys such as guanans, manjebis, and mandrills, but it also showcases many other species of animals, such as yellow-backed duikers, pygmy hippos, slender-snouted crocodiles, and many species of turtles and fish can be seen in a series of waterland exhibits, all with underwater viewing areas. In smaller exhibits are many reptiles and amphibians such as pancake tortoises, and many species of arthropods such as Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Monkey Trail utilizes a new method of displaying arboreal animals by climbing up an elevated walkway throughout the exhibit. Some of the horticultural highlights in Monkey Trail include a ficus tree, cycads, and a bog garden. Owens Aviary The Owens Rainforest Aviary contains about 200 tropical birds representing 45 species. Lories, kingfishers, barley miners, jacanas, woodpeckers, and Argus pheasants can all be seen here. Scripps Aviary The Scripps Aviary is home to many colorful birds such as the amethyst starling, tinkerbirds, and the sociable weaver. Panda Trek As of July 2011, the San Diego Zoo is one of 4 zoos in the U.S. which have giant pandas on display, and is the most successful in terms of panda reproduction. The first 2 giant panda cubs in U.S. history to have been born in the U.S. and survive into adulthood, Hue Mary and Mary Sheng, were born at the San Diego Zoo, in 1999 and 2003, respectively. Since then, 4 more giant panda cubs, Su Lin and Sen Sen, Yan Zai, Xiaoliwu, have been born to the resident giant panda parents by Yun and Gao Gao. All these American-born cubs except Xiaoliwu have been sent back to China to participate in the breeding program there. These giant pandas are viewable from a web-based exhibit called the San Diego Zoo Panda Cam. A sixth cub, Xiaoliwu, was born on July 29, 2012 and was first let outside for visitors to see on January 9, 2013. In addition to being able to view this rare animal species, the nearby Giant Panda Discovery Center has interactive exhibits that let the visitor experience firsthand what the animals smell and sound like. Since the opening of Panda Trek, there are now Sichuan tarkines, a red panda, Mingshan pituppas, and an exhibit comparing several types of bamboo. Polar Bear Plunge Polar Bear Plunge, which opened in 1996 and was renovated in March 2010, houses over 30 species representing the Arctic. The main animals in the area are the three polar bears, named Korluk, Chinook, and Tatkik. More animals that make their home in Polar Bear Plunge, which are reindeer or caribou, Arctic foxes, maned wolves, mountain lions, and Grevy zebra. An underwater viewing area is available to observe the polar bears swimming in their 130,000 US-gallon pool. Farther down the path lies the Arctic aviary, home to the diving ducks including buffleheads, harlequin ducks, the smews, and long-tailed ducks. The aviary houses more than 25 species of duck. Some of the horticultural highlights include giant redwood trees, many different pine trees, and manzanita. Ituri Forest based upon the real Ituri Forest in Africa. This exhibit opened in 1999 and houses different animal species from the rainforests of Central Africa. The exhibit begins with a forested exhibit for Okapi, then winds past a recreation of two leaf-covered beauty huts with signage about the people's customs and traditions. Next, the path leads to the hippopotamus exhibit, which also houses tilapia and has an underwater viewing area. After the hippos, the path passes through a bunch of bamboo before reaching a clearing where aviaries have housed great blue churraco, emerald starlings, tambourine doves, and Congo peafowl. A thatched roof gift shop and a food stand are located in a plaza nearby. Immediately to the right is the African forest buffalo exhibit, which has also housed Brazos monkey, Allen swamp monkey, Schmidt spot-nosed guanan, and spotted-necked otters. The plaza leads to a bridge flanked by the buffalo exhibit on one side and an exhibit that only the small monkeys and otters can access on the other. Across the bridge is a creek where the otters can swim, with viewing both above and below the water's surface. Afterwards, the path joins the rest of the zoo. Elephant Odyssey This exhibit opened on May 23, 2009, on the side of the former Hoof and Horn Mesa area. The main feature of the exhibit is the 2.5-acre elephant habitat, more than 3 times the size of the zoo's former elephant exhibit, in what used to be Elephant Mesa. The herd includes 1 male and 6 females and consists of a blended herd of 3 African and 4 Asian elephants. Elephant Odyssey also features a glimpse of the past with the fossil portal and life-size statues of ancient creatures of Southern California next to the exhibits of their modern-day counterparts. The ancient life represented include the Columbian mammoth, the saber-toothed cat, the American lion, the Daggett's eagle, and the Jefferson's ground sloth. Elephant Odyssey's other animal exhibits include African lions, jaguars, bears, tapirs, guanacos, capybaras, Kirk's dik-diks, secretary birds, dung beetles, water beetles, desert tarantulas, toads, newts, turtles, frogs, dromedary camels, pronghorn, horses, burros, llamas, rattlesnakes, and the California condor. The beginning of Elephant Odyssey is the fossil portal, an artificial tar pit that periodically drains to reveal man-made Pleistocene-era bones. The path turns a corner and opens up at the Mammoth Passage Plaza, with an exhibit for African lions to the left, an exhibit that has housed 2-toed sloths to the right, and the tip of the elephant exhibit, with a large wading pool, straight ahead. The path continues to the left along the pool, passing by the jaguar exhibit on the left. The northern end of the elephant pool drains into the mixed species exhibit, which houses tapirs, capybaras, and guanacos. The path meets up with the elephant exhibit again before it reaches the Elephant Care Center, where visitors can watch keepers care for the animals. Next is an exhibit for secretary birds with grasses, a tree and a statue of the extinct Daggett's eagle nearby. Afterwards, the path goes down a crevasse with a wall embedded with vivaria for dung beetles and diving beetles, among other aquatic insects. The path tunnels below the elephant exhibit to reach the other side, where it continues between the elephant exhibit and a creek for native reptiles and amphibians. Just past the source of the stream is a restaurant and gift shop, and after that is a couple of exhibits for pronghorns, horses, and camels. Next the path splits between a playground, a rattlesnake terrarium, and a California condor aviary with artificial rock spires and a stream. The paths then reunite and join the rest of the zoo. Gorilla Tropics simulating the rainforests of Central Africa and opened in 1991. Gorilla Tropics has an 8,000 square foot enclosure for the eponymous species. The exhibit has waterfalls, a meadow, and tropical plants such as allspice, coral trees, and African tulip trees, as well as several species of bamboo. Guests can view the 7 western gorillas from a viewing window, across a waterfall, and across a creek. Absolutely Apes This exhibit opened in 2003 and houses 4 Sumatran orangutans with 1 Bonyan orangutan and Siamangs in an 8,400 square foot exhibit, which is flanked by a 110-foot glass viewing window. The exhibit provides sway poles and artificial trees for the primates to swing on and a fake termite mound for them to fish condiments out of. The viewing area is designed to resemble the mulch-lined exhibit side of the viewing window by having rubber mulch and miniature sway poles for kids. Some plant species in the exhibit are teak trees, carrotwood trees, and macamaya trees. Bonobos The zoo has bred and maintained bonobos since 1960. San Diego has currently 13 bonobos. Sun Bear Forest This $3.5 million exhibit opened in 1989 and exhibits Bornean sun bears and silvery lutung monkeys. One end of the 1.5-acre complex houses lion-tailed macaques in a grassy exhibit with a stream and climbing ropes. The oblong sun bear exhibit straddles the path along the rest of the complex, and a couple of small aviaries house 15 species of birds, including fairy bluebird and fruit doves. A large glass-covered exhibit with artificial vines is designed for crested gibbons. Tiger River Tiger River, located in a sloping canyon, opened in 1988 and houses Malayan tigers. From the top of the canyon, the path first goes through a pavilion with underwater viewing of crocodilians and other aquatic reptiles. It proceeds to another pavilion, this time flanked by the marsh aviary, with white-collared kingfishers and storks, and a fishing cat exhibit. Farther down the canyon are a Malayan tapir exhibit and the 4-acre tiger habitat, which has a hillside stream, waterfall, and glass viewing window. Outback A new Australian outback area, nicknamed California, opened in May 2013. It has twice as much exhibit space for koalas, including more outdoor enclosures based on a realization that koalas need sun exposure for their health. The new area includes other Australian marsupials such as wombats and wallabies and Australian birds such as kookaburras. It also houses Tasmanian devils, which are only kept in 2 zoos in the Americas. Crowded leopard 2 14-week-old clouded leopard brothers arrived at the zoo in December 2012. Cougar The zoo finished building a new cougar exhibit in 2014. Africa Rocks A new exhibit called Africa Rocks is scheduled to open in 2017 after $10 million was donated to the zoo by 3,800 donors. The current exhibit known as Cat Canyon will have 1930s-era cages and grottos replaced with new exhibits. Africa Rocks will feature new exhibits that will create a new African experience that includes Rady Falls and a Madagascar habitat. The 65-foot-tall Rady Falls will be the largest man-made waterfall in San Diego. The Madagascar habitat will showcase 7 species of lemurs, including the endangered red-ruffed lemur and the elusive ii, the largest nocturnal primate on Earth. Africa Rocks will have a diversity of habitats and dozens of species. It will highlight some of the Zool Euro unregistered trademark's most popular animals, such as leopards and zebras, as well as those not seen at the zoo in more than 35 years, African penguins and hamadryas baboons. Conservation. The zoo is active in conservation and species preservation efforts. Its Institute for Conservation Research raises California condors, giant pandas, tigers, African black rhinos, and 145 other endangered species. As a result, they reintroduced more than 30 endangered species back into the wild, and has conserved habitat at 50 field sites. They also have over 200 conservation scientists working in 35 countries around the world. It employs numerous professional geneticists, cytologists, and veterinarians and maintains a cryopreservation facility for rare sperm and eggs called the Frozen Zoo. The San Diego Zoo Institute for Conservation Research is the largest zoo-based multidisciplinary research effort in the world. Based at the Arnold and Mabel Beckman Center for Conservation Research adjacent to the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, more than 200 dedicated scientists carry out research vital to the conservation of animals, plants, and habitats, locally and internationally. Zoo Corps. Zoo Corps is a volunteer program at the San Diego Zoo that enlists high school students to teach guests at the zoo about the animals they are seeing and their place in the ecosystem. It enrolls students between 13 and 17 years of age. The goals are to promote public education about animals and conservation, and to help the students develop their ability to speak in public. The program runs year-round in 2 sessions, one from May through November and one from January through May. Members of the Zoo Corps are expected to volunteer at least once a month. The program utilizes a series of kits, which are set on tables throughout the zoo. The kits contain objects that can be used to explain why an animal is endangered or to shed light on the animal's lifestyle. Some of the kits are: Conservation Kit, Endangered Species Kit, Behavioral Enrichment Kit, and Animal Diet Kit. Architecture. Local architect Louis John Gill designed the original buildings, cages and animal grottos, and later in 1926, the Spanish Revival-style research hospital, for which Gill received an honor award from the San Diego chapter of the American Institute of Architects. Gill also designed a bird cage at the zoo in 1937, then the largest bird cage in the world. Awards. The San Diego Zoo has received numerous awards for its exhibits, programs, and reproduction and conservation efforts. This list includes only awards given to the zoo specifically, not to its parent organization. For those, see San Diego Zoo Global Awards. In popular culture, animals from the San Diego Zoo were often presented to the audience by Shari Lewis throughout Lamb Chop's Play Along. The shots of the private zoo at Xonad in Orson Welles' 1941 film Citizen Kane were filmed at the San Diego Zoo. The San Diego Zoo was the filming location for the long-running documentary television series Zorama. The San Diego Zoo, along with the St. Louis Zoo, were frequently mentioned in the Yogi Bear series of media as possible destinations Ranger Smith may ship Yogi to if he caused too much trouble at Yellowstone Park. In the 1964 film Hey There, It's Yogi Bear. Yogi was actually shipped to the San Diego Zoo, and his escape from being shipped off forms the plot of the film. In addition to its normal publicity efforts and webpage, the zoo also produced a short TV program for a number of years with Joan Embury. Joan Embury brought various animals to The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson between 1971 and 1987, and more recently The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. The Zoo Lonely Animals. The zoo was featured prominently in the 2004 movie Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, though filming was done at the old Los Angeles Zoo, not at the San Diego Zoo. The zoo is featured in the 1965 film Scavenger Hunt, in which each of the 5 teams in the scavenger hunt steals an ostrich from the zoo. The Beach Boys' 1966 album Pet Sounds has a cover and various album photography from the San Diego Zoo. The zoo is talked about, though not actually shown, in the film The Lost World, Jurassic Park. The 60h's first album Wasps' Nests includes a song called San Diego Zoo, which features comprehensive directions on how to get to the zoo. The first YouTube video, Me at the Zoo, was shot in San Diego Zoo and was uploaded to it on April 23, 2005, by the co-creator, Jord Karam. It can still be viewed on YouTube. The San Diego Zoo is mentioned in DreamWorks animation Madagascar from Melman because of wide open spaces when the gang landed in Madagascar. In Madagascar, Escape to Africa, the animals saw their home in Africa that resembles the African savanna exhibit from San Diego Zoo Safari Park. See also, by Yan, a giant panda at the San Diego Zoo. References, citations. Bibliography, Abrams, H. 1983. A World of Animals. Chrisman, Florence. The Romance of Balboa Park. San Diego Historical Society. ISBN 0-918740-03-7. Amaro, Richard W. Balboa Park and the 1915 Exposition. Charleston, South Carolina, The History Press. ISBN 1-626193-45-2. Ernst & Young LLP, 2005. Zoological Society of San Diego Financial Statements 2004 inches, Greeley, M., A. al. 1997. The San Diego Zoo. Myers, Douglas. Mr. Zoo, The Life and Legacy of Dr. Charles Schroeder, the world-famous San Diego Zoo and Wild Animal Park's legendary director. The Zoological Society of San Diego. ISBN 0-91114161-15-9. Scholey, Roger M. Balboa Park, A Millennium History. Heritage Media Corporation. ISBN 1-886483-40X. Wegeforth, H. M. and Morgan, and 1953. It began with a roar, the beginning of the world-famous San Diego Zoo. External links, official website, PBS Nature, San Diego Zoo, Balboa Park.